What is good, everybody? We are here, D-O-Dub, the boys coming at you with our Royal Rumble run-through. You see the alliteration I did there? You see that was off the top. You see what I did there? You know, it's your boy, Jordan. We got Kevin on the other end. Say what's up to the people,
What's up, y'all?
Hey, yo, yeah,
How are y'all doing?
Of course. So we gonna run through this Royal Rumble recap. We got 6 matches, 6 of them. That's more than usually most Royal Rumbles, especially since we got 2 Royal Rumbles that are lasting about an hour each. But we gonna run through everything. We also gonna talk about our kind of thoughts for the year, bold predictions, what we think's gonna happen, who's gonna be the top wrestlers, the names, things like that, who's gonna come. We gonna run through it all, but we gonna start talking about this Royal Rumble. First match we gonna get into is the Grit couple versus the It couple. We got Edge and Beth Phoenix, one of the honestly better on-screen couples that we've seen in a minute. They don't be doing too much. They just love each other and have fun. That's what they do. Against The Miz and Maurice. What's your thoughts kind of about how the build to this matchup has kind of come about?
This has been interesting. Honestly, this has taken a turn I was not expecting. Then again, this also was a feud that I wasn't expecting, if I'm being real.
That's fair.
When I saw Miz and Edge, I was like, this could go one out of 2 ways, because Miz has come out and pulled out some very good feuds out of himself. And I mean, the way ever since Edge has come back, all of his feuds have been strong for the most part. So to see this, and I was like, I mean, this is definitely taking a turn where, of course, we've seen how everyone takes the jab of Miz being Mr. Hollywood, being the guy for the social media and reality TV show face. Never shuts up. But yeah, we've seen his turn and turnaround on things. So I mean, it's a very, very common thing with the Miz. And then of course seeing Edge and talking about how he's been fighting to come back and all that stuff. So it's definitely been one of those feuds where it's like, you just want to enjoy it because you want to like both guys, because you know Miz isn't a bad guy.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
The turnaround when we added the wives, this has been interesting. How it happened at day 1 was definitely interesting.
It was pretty cool though. I liked it.
I did like it, but the match quality itself was what got me. So overall, I think the story has been intriguing, especially on the Maurice portion, and then how things have swapped around. I think they did a good job with that storytelling. So overall, I think the match is going to be solid, and I think we're going to see Edge and Beth Phoenix take out the win for this one.
Yeah, it's very similar, not in terms of storyline and how we kind of got there, but in terms of what we're kind of building to from what we saw from like John Cena and Nikki Bella a couple years ago with Miz and Maurice as well. It's a little less gimmicky and things like that because it was a little bit more real with what they were kind of dealing with in terms of just like John and Nikki. That was the first time they had really been on screen as a couple and just having that like out there, even though it was common knowledge. But yeah, it's definitely giving kind of like ebbs and flows and like feels of that time. I definitely think Edge and Beth Phoenix are just a cooler couple in general, frankly. Like they come up to the screen, they exude confidence, they exude just having fun with what they're given, and I think that's awesome. I think the Beth Phoenix return at day 1 was actually pretty cool. It wasn't something that I don't think anybody really expected, so just to have it come up the way that it did was awesome. The fact that we're getting a match at Royal Rumble, I think is even more awesome, just seeing her kind of like in-ring return to like either a tag team match or a singles match kind of capacity is really cool. The way that it's been built, I guess is kind of okay. I think it's been a struggle to kind of get through for like the past, like I would say a couple of weeks, because they are kind of redoing a lot of things. The addition of Beth, it does kind of spice things up a little bit, but even before that, when it was just like Edge and Miz going at it, like things were getting very stagnant really quickly, and so I'm glad the pay-per-view is actually this Saturday, so we don't have to deal with any more segments. Hopefully the feud ends this Saturday as well. I firmly am with the majority of that and thinking that Edge and Beth Phoenix will win. It's just her return to in-ring action. I don't think this feud needs to continue in any way going into WrestleMania. I think Edge wins. He probably enters himself in the Royal Rumble. Beth probably does the same thing as well, and we just kind of end it and squash it there. But yeah, it's been an interesting build, but not one that I've specifically hated at all. It's just been kind of stagnant at points. But other than that, it's been completely fine. I can't wait to see what both men kind of do, just going off in that direction, just towards WrestleMania as well. So that'll be interesting. Outside of that, that's been all good. Going into the next match here. This one's a little bit weirder as well. An opponent I did not see coming for the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. We got her going up against Doudrop for that title. What do you think kind of came about, just in terms of like seeing that Doudrop was the opponent for Becky Lynch for Rumble?
This was out of nowhere, strictly because of the fact that that finish at day one wasn't supposed to happen like that. We were still supposed to get the Liv Morgan storyline. But I mean, this is one of those cases where WWE was listening to the crowd. You can eventually screw over a top star that everyone wants to see, but so many times before people start getting really frustrated. Like, day one was a very frustrating type of deal where Becky Lynch really shouldn't have won. She shouldn't have won on either occasion.
It felt like Liv should... No, like, Liv at day one, like, more than the other match that they had, I felt like... Why didn't she have it at that point? Yeah.
Exactly. So it was one of those cases where it's like, now we're at a time where they had to force something. What was supposed to come out with what I imagine was supposed to be Liv Morgan versus Bianca build up. But it's now they have to make something new happen. That's what it feels like. And of course, Doudrop. We know Doudrop's really good in the ring. I've always been a fan of Piper Niven.
Absolutely.
But this is going to be one of those cases where it's like, I believe Becky's going to win, but I don't know how this is about to happen. Because Doudrop's book's so strong. This is like when anyone used to fight Mark Henry when he was in the Hall of Pain doing all that stuff. It's like, you know how strongly they've been built. Or is the case when any heavy has gone into a championship match and you know that they're not going to win, and you're like... conflicted on how you think they're gonna lose. So it's one of those cases where it's like, you know, Becky can't win clean, and this whole rope hold has not been good for Becky at all. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to change and turn into effect. Maybe it's going to build to an Elimination Chamber match, maybe, but I don't know.
I don't see it building to the Elimination Chamber, mainly because it is in Saudi Arabia. I think they're just kind of getting over the fact that they have 3 women just like fighting in like tight clothes and just having everything covered and things like that. I don't think they will be in the Elimination Chamber. And anyway, that's just my opinion, just based on what we've seen. And we'll kind of see what continues on from there. But yeah, in terms of this feud, it has been really interesting. It hasn't been that long since we only had the number 1 contenders match a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it's really something that I didn't see coming in any way. But I am fully intrigued by it, even though I know Doudrop is going to lose. I'm considering the match quality that we're going to get, the story of Becky kind of overcoming what is a heel deal Doudrop, and them both kind of heels going at it has been very interesting to see how they kind of play up to that as well. But I definitely intend to see Doudrop just more on the face side, since Becky has been kind of in that heel realm since she's come back. So it'll be very interesting to see how the matches just kind of paced out and kind of how it's structured a little bit. But yeah, it's really interesting. Frankly, if I could be honest, I'm not feeling Becky Lynch a lot at the moment. Not because she's a bad wrestler or that her presentation is bad or anything like that, but I think for her, she is so easily like a mega babyface. And the fact that she hasn't expressed that or just kind of been in that realm since she's come back has been kind of sad to see her kind of just play to that heel mentality that we've seen from woman after woman and man after man over time. So it's just hard to see it and hard to see her kind of play up to that, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the match. Becky is definitely going to win, because you don't want Doudrop as your women's champion going into Mania. Not that I don't like Doudrop at all, but definitely
it's just you book yourself into a kerfuffle again.
Yeah, if you're looking for the big money match, it'll definitely be Becky that's in that role. Speaking of big money matches, did you hear the rumor, bud?
What about?
About a certain person who might be coming back at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, I have heard about this, and I will give my thoughts on this person in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, because this will play into next one of these matches. But what her capacity will be very much a question. I mean, of course, she's gonna be in one of the main events.
Possibly.
But it's really more of the how of she's gonna come back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it would make sense, of course, why both female champions are currently heels. It does make sense. But of course, I mean, like I know, nothing compares to a baby face versus a baby face. Two megastars. I mean, nothing compares to it. It gives you that Rock versus Hulk Hogan feel, that Stone Cold versus The Rock feel. Those kind of feels when when the crowd is rooting for both people. So it's one of those times where it's like Charlotte fits the heel role perfectly. But it's like I've noticed this when it comes to their mega stars in WWE as of late, especially with the champions, that you want to turn them heel out of nowhere for no reason. You see that it worked for Roman, and you see that it works for Charlotte, and now you want to do it to Becky when the first time you try to do this heel turn with Becky, that's how the man got started, and Correct. She turned into the mega baby face. Yeah. So if you guys know, and everyone heard the pop at SummerSlam, so it's like one of those things where it's like we all know her star power, and we wouldn't. Why would we put ourselves in this position to put her as a heel, even though this person is returning possibly? But yes, I will be addressing that very soon.
Interesting. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on with one of our matches. But next up, we got the match that nobody really thought would happen. It was always in the back of our minds, but it's happening. It's these beefy boys, these big, meaty men clashing meat. It's going to be Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, going up against Bobby Lashley. Bro, I'm looking forward to this so much. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm so happy. I'm going to start on this one. Because we've been hearing about this match for so freaking long. Like
since
forever.
Bobby came back.
Since Bobby came back, literally. Even before that a little bit. Like we would always wonder, like, what if Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar went at it? Like there was always those thoughts that they had never done it. And now it's these two alpha males just about to go at it and destroy each other. We got a glimpse of it at day one, just what they did just outside the ring, that spear through the barricade that Bobby gave to Brock Lesnar and things like that. But I've been fully enthralled with the Brock Lesnar ever since he has won this title and come back, because he is on a whole nother level of just entertainment at this point. And it is so good to see, because for the longest time we got him in just all serious mode, he's Brock Lesnar, he's got Paul Heyman, like that's what it is. Yep. But ever since he's come back, he's been the best person to watch on TV. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's been the most entertaining, the most fun to see. He's going to be the most fun in the ring when he has these matches. And the way that he has been coming at Bobby's Lashley's just like insecurities, like, Bobby who? Exactly. Nobody knows anything about this man, who he is, and so he's just been playing with Bobby at this point. I fully expect to see just fireworks at Royal Rumble. I am fully enthralled. This might be the match that I'm looking most forward to come on Saturday.
Yeah, this is one of those matches where it's like you only dream about it. The dream matches back when it was TNA versus what you would put with TNA versus WWE. What would be the matches? You had the AJ Styles versus the Heartbreak Kid. You had, of course, the Undertaker versus Sting. You had those dream matches that you would wish for. So to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar finally happening at a point where Bobby has been booked to be a top guy, where he was the former WWE champion, where he's been in the Hurt Business, led the Hurt Business, and had a very strong 2020 and very strong 2021. So it's nice to see this start to come around, and it's crazy because everyone talks about how these feuds have been very replayed and redundant, but it's like all these people that you're seeing clashing are at a new level at their careers.
Correct.
So it's like you're seeing the same feud, but you're not seeing the same feud. You're just seeing the same two people. But this is one of those cases where it's not the same Brock, and even in the slightest that we've seen, he's a lot leaner.
Yeah.
He's learned a lot. He's cutting promos. I mean,
Right.
Brock Lesnar himself is talking. So it's one of those most refreshing things ever where you see, of course, Brock Lesnar is enjoying it too. You see that he's visibly enjoying it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was like when we talked about Randy Orton, when he hit his stride again, to see him back in the WWE picture in 2020 during the pandemic, you could tell and sense that Randy was having fun again. You could sense that he was at a new level and genuinely a top guy again. So it's one of those things where it's like Brock Lesnar will never not be a top guy.
Right.
But you see that when a superstar enjoys it, you see a whole nother side. Like Roman Reigns is enjoying himself as the head of the table, and you've seen how he's been delivering. You've seen Seth Rollins start to really enjoy this whole gimmick that he has and how much he has flourished in it. So it's one of those things where it's like nothing compares to when a wrestler or a superstar is really enjoying the process. But, of course, we know what the overall storyline is looking to be. So I have Brock Lesnar taking this match in a very, very good match.
Yep, I agree. I think the one thing that could possibly throw a wrench in that is just the fact that, hey, somehow MVP does magic or Paul Heyman royally screws up and Bobby Lashley wins this title going just into WrestleMania. I have like, not a theory, but a thought more so that Bobby could win the title, and then we see Brock Lesnar enter the Rumble and win.
Oh,
and then go to fight Roman.
Oh yeah, I definitely have a theory for the Men's Royal Rumble.
That would not be fun. Not because I don't like Brock and what he's doing, but no.
Oh, wait until you hear what I got to say about when the Royal Rumble comes up.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I definitely have Brock winning. It's going to be a fun match. The match I'm looking most forward to on the card by far. But yeah, please don't put Brock in this Rumble, please.
Oh, please.
And if you do, don't let him win. Please.
Yeah, because I was about to say we all remember the Money in the Bank.
Exactly. That's exactly what I have fears of. Please do not let him win again.
We all remember that. Homie wasn't even in the match and won the match. That will always throw me off.
Right. Oh my gosh. I hated that match so much. Anyway, moving on from that big meaty men going at it, we're going at a reunion of sorts.
Yeah.
We got that Universal Champion, the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the one, going up against Mr. Seth freaking Rollins, because that is his name now, apparently. Yep. Don't wear it out. But yeah, very interesting. These two Shield brethren going at it. We see the mentions to Mox from the Shield just coming up these past SmackDown. So it's very interesting for how these kind of built this up. What's kind of been your impression for how they're going about things?
Boy, oh boy. This has been, when I say this is how it should feel going in the Royal Rumble. Your two most important matches are your two top title matches.
Correct.
This is how it feels going into Royal Rumble. Both of these matches give me chills just thinking about, because these are both going to tear the house down. Seth Rollins has been brilliant in this entire rivalry. This feud has been amazing from the moment he walked in, doing the Shield's theme song, to laughing in Roman's face when Roman realized that he has to wrestle Seth Rollins, to Rollins pulling out the record that Roman Reigns has never beaten him in a championship match, to Rollins mentioning the Shield and how Roman has created this little pedestal and that's his ceiling every single time. Seth Rollins mentioning Jon Moxley on TV, and then when he was asked about it, he talked about how it only made sense because there was 3 people in the Shield, not 2. So to see their journeys, and then to be these two, the 2 that in the Shield held the tag team championships together. Yeah. So this has been one of those things where both of these guys took a career. Their careers have been parallel, completely parallel. Seth Rollins went on to be this hot guy for the time that Roman was gone due to his battle with leukemia. But before Roman left, he was starting to get hot. And then Roman Reigns has been pushed as the top guy ever since he left the Shield. these two have had both of their character changes around the same time. This was one of those things where it's like they're both hitting that point where they're both at a new level. This isn't the same feud that you've seen numerous times. These aren't the same two guys that you saw the first time they wrestled each other. So this is going to be a heck of a match. And I have Seth Rollins winning this match.
Very interesting. Very interesting. This is... I love seeing Seth Rollins as a babyface. Like, I love it.
Especially
like,
this one.
Yes, exactly like the way he's been portrayed now. I've been waiting for him to turn back face for a good minute now, frankly. Probably once we got out of the Thunderdome and the fans just began to react to him so much more smoothly and just enjoy his presence a bit more. You hear the rumors that he was gonna win the WWE title at day one if everything hadn't got changed up. I would have fully loved it. I don't know if he would have turned babyface, but I think giving him the title and kind of giving him that stage in some sort of capacity would have done wonders for the boy and just his character kind of moving forward, because he has been kind of stagnant ever since the things in the Thunderdome with Ray and that whole feud just kind of going as long as it did to everything that they've kind of done since they've been back for no reason at all. We're not going to talk about that, but but seeing him in this babyface role, he lights it up. He's not the way that he was back in 2018, 2019, but his character is fully refined for what he's doing now, and it's been awesome. So I hope that we get to see that a little bit more going forward. I hope that it's not just a one-time thing where we're kind of dealing with Roman and he's just in that heel role, so he has to adjust a little bit. But seeing Seth as kind of a cool, kind of not anti-hero, but just kind of a dude that does his own thing, kind of beats by his own drum and kind of is to the whim of the audience's reaction, I think would be pretty cool. That being said, I don't think he's winning on Sunday. I know we're under the impression more than likely that one of these guys in terms of the world championship matches is going to lose their title. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's a specific plan to do Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at Mania just at the moment. And if we do get there at any capacity, I don't know if it'll specifically be through the Royal Rumble that we're going to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of comes together. But I would love for Seth Rollins to win. I will say that. But I think with the way that Roman has been presented for his entire run, losing to Seth Rollins with the Usos banned at ringside, as he's kind of lost to Rollins his entire career, they made kind of a point of that. I don't see this as the time where the whole feud needs to be proven right with Seth Rollins winning and kind of proving that he's that guy. I don't think it's the time for that. I would love to see it, but I don't think in terms of storyline it would make the most sense, just kind of seeing where both men are at this point. So I got Roman winning, I would say, on this one, but we'll definitely have to see what happens, because I don't know how to, if this match is rumored and we do try to get Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns, I don't know how we're going to get there.
This has been one of the most wacky, rocky, and confusing builds to WrestleMania we've seen in a while.
Yeah, which makes it fun that we don't know what's gonna happen. Sometimes you can see things kind of picture perfect and clear. I think when Drew won it 2 years ago, I think it was very clear that he was going to win it, at least on my end. I don't know about everybody else's end, but I thought it was firmly about to win it. But things like this, things kind of like last year as well with Edge winning it, I think it's pretty fun. So we'll see what happens. I love the anticipation,
So,
awesome.
We ready for the Royal Rumbles?
No, I'm not, but we're going to talk about them anyway. These Royal Rumbles, man. I don't know what's about to happen in these shows. Jesus Christ.
This is literally, when we say the most unpredictable road to WrestleMania, we don't know who's winning the Royal Rumble.
I have
we
no
really
idea
don't.
who is winning the Royal Rumble.
These predictions are literally gonna give you guys the pure definition of the word. These are just predictions. We honestly don't know.
This is a guess. Legit. We'll start off with the women's Royal Rumble. They got all the women in there. Probably the best and biggest name we're gonna have is Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, trying to win and ultimately choose her opponent for WrestleMania, which I don't think would be the worst thing in the world, frankly. I don't think it's going to happen, but
It'd be different.
I wouldn't. It would be different, which is why I wouldn't hate it, but we'll see with that. But of course, names Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Lita coming up in there, Rhea Ripley, Naomi. We got legends returning like Summer Rae, both of the Bella twins coming back. Michelle McCool gonna be in there. That's the Undertaker's wife. We're not gonna. Why did I say that? Sorry, that's Michelle McCool. That was my fault because Michelle McCool is a trailblazer. Like I'm not trying to.
She
do all
is.
That, but
she really is.
But people from other companies, Mickie James coming back as the Impact Women's Champion. This is going to be a really fun Royal Rumble just in terms of surprises. But what's kind of your impression on what you think is going to happen?
So, of course, everyone has been so frustrated about the surprise entrance being revealed. I completely understand. It is completely understandable. Mickie James especially shouldn't have been announced. It would have been great to see her as it's great to see that the Forbidden Door has been knocked down for WWE. But here's the thing. I'd rather have seen it at Royal Rumble and being like, oh my gosh, Mickie James here with the Impact Championship.
That's fair. But I think with her, like, kind of giving that leeway beforehand, I think that brings more notoriety to, like, one, what Impact is doing, and two, like, having that kind of build up to the Royal Rumble so you can kind of get that name out there continuously, and people are going to want to watch because Mickie James are going to be in it. Wouldn't have got that same impact if she was just like a surprise entrance. So you can kind of go both ways with it.
But overall, I think this is going to be a very surprising Royal Rumble. I can't predict this one to save my life, but I will. Mm-hmm. I believe Alexa Bliss is going to win.
Wow.
And if she doesn't win, Ronda Rousey is going to win.
Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, the rumors, they are out there. Ronda Rousey is rumored to be coming back soon, or rumored to be at Royal Rumble, actually. I don't know, dog. I don't know if that's true.
Because in my mind, I'm like, if you put Liv to do it, it doesn't make sense. You already tried this whole Liv push. You messed it up.
Liv won't win.
It wouldn't make sense. And if you try to do I guess it would make sense to do Bianca to win it again. That would be okay. I can handle that. Or have Naomi win it.
I don't think they'll do that either.
I don't think they're going to do that either because they're pushing strongly to Sonya Deville versus Naomi. Yeah. So those are the only three people that I'm like, those are the three people. Or it could be one of the returns. I mean, Asuka's reported to be coming back. And, Bayley could be deceiving us and showing us just her rehab from ways ago. And she could be returning. I would love to see Bayley return. And I would love to see her win. Because, I miss some Bayley. But I don't know. We're going to see how this one turns out. What is your prediction for this, Jordan?
I think I'm going to enjoy this Rumble more than the men's Rumble. I think that's 100%. I think that's actually like my first prediction I want to put out there, because usually the women's Rumbles have been kind of sloppy. I'm not gonna lie, they've been good. Like last year's was incredible, just with the final two, Rhea and Bianca. But sometimes they have been a little bit sloppy just in the prior years. I think I will enjoy this one more than I will the men's. That being said, I don't think Ronda Rousey is returning yet either.
Okay.
And so I think it's kind of come up like very shortly the way it has in like the past week. Like, oh, Ronda Rousey, she might be coming back. You're like, wait a minute, like we were just
these
with
conversations haven't existed.
Right, exactly. Like she was just with her baby, she was with her hubby. Like let her enjoy her time, and she'll come back and all that, and we'll be fine. But I don't think she'll return as of yet. I do think WrestleMania is on the map for her if she does come back within the next month or so. I just don't think it'll be at the Rumble. Alexa Bliss hasn't been in a place as of late, just with the therapy segments. I don't think she's in like a practical role to be winning the Rumble. Neither has Liv. Bianca has kind of getting that shine, which is why I wouldn't be mad with it. But I don't think having a back-to-back winner would really be the most interesting thing in the world.
Not for a new Rumble that's getting started.
Yeah, which is why I have to go with one of the returns, which is I love me some Bailey, man. I do.
Yeah,
I
would
do.
love to see it.
I will pick Bailey. Like,
Yeah.
this is me like hoping and praying that she returns because I
That's
wanted
a
her
big
back for so long, and I
Yeah.
don't know if she's cleared, and I don't know if she's coming back. But boy, would it be awesome to see
That would
her
be
win.
magical.
As a
Oh my
baby
gosh,
face
I would
again.
love to
Like,
see
as
that.
the character she is, like, has been recently as a baby face. Oh my gosh. It would be so great. It would be the best. If not her, I would probably go Bianca Belair, more than likely just winning again. Like, assuming that all of the returns aren't like crazy or anything like that. Assuming Ronda Rousey doesn't come back, because if she does come back, I think she's winning. But
100%.
I would love to see Bailey win this, man. That's my pick. I'm sticking to it for now. Hopefully she is cleared and she kind of comes back, because I think with her coming back in like the next couple of months, which she's kind of rumored to, she wouldn't really have like a clear line or like a match at Mania, more than likely, and that feels like wrong, like especially the way that they did her last year. So I'm hoping it's Bailey and that she comes in and kills it and wins.
Absolutely, and I think another reason why the wrestling quality will be a lot better for the women's Royal Rumble, everyone who's been announced is in shape and has been training. It's not like anyone's just getting thrown in this match for nostalgia. No, everyone has been real life training to get in this match.
Everyone looks good.
And I'm like, this is gonna be a really good match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. But aside from that women's Rumble and all of the mystery that's going on with that, all the returns that might be happening, we're moving on to the men's Rumble.
We should have finished with the women's Rumble. We
probably should have, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But usually the men are the main card. I expect them to more than likely get the main event if Ronda Rousey doesn't come back. But yeah, talking about the men's Rumble, we got some big names. Of course, the Big E's, the Kevin Owens. We see AJ Styles, Damian Priest, the big guy, Omos, Austin Theory, guys like that, but not really the most star-studded, at least that we've heard in terms of legends or returns or anything like that coming back. We got a Johnny Knoxville in there too, so we'll see how that kind of goes.
Yeah, it's not a legend nor a return, so
at all. So we'll see what his impact kind of is. I really hope he don't eliminate Sami Zayn. Oh my gosh, that would be the worst. Oh boy, that would be awful. Sami signed a new contract just to get eliminated by Johnny Knoxville.
Man,
I don't like it. But either way, those are the big names coming in. What is your prediction? I have an idea of what your prediction is from your little earlier talkings, but what you got, bud?
All right, so there's two people I have in mind. Strictly because of how I believe how Mania is going to turn out. I have Big E as one option. Absolutely have Big E. Another option. I hate to say it.
I know what you're about to say.
Coming in at number 30.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
I know.
He's done it before. The head of the table.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
When I say I'm gonna almost want to quit watching WWE if this were to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, when I say cry, because here's the thing, you're gonna see the Usos before you see Roman.
Yeah.
So if y'all see the Usos run out of anywhere and jump whoever's in the ring, so Roman Reigns can collect his debt and get his dues, so he can wrestle Brock Lesnar. Boy, this would
that would hurt my spirit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Spirit, boy, that would hurt my soul.
You're right. That would hit deep.
I would feel my love for pro wrestling deplete. Like it would. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would hurt. So I would need to watch Rampage, like literally right after. Like it would hurt so much. Yeah. That's how bad it would be. Like it's like, bro, it's one of those cases where like if I see that, I gotta watch when he returns from leukemia to realize I actually like this guy. Like,
I do
like
like this guy. I do.
It's just the booking ain't the best.
It ain't the best.
It's literally the fact that this is the only storyline that they know they want to do.
Yeah. That's what hurts.
So
that's what hurts.
It hurts your soul knowing that they did not create any faces at all that could possibly win this thing.
Drew's out.
Drew's out. Drew was out at day one. I just knew.
Yeah.
When he wrestled Madcap, I was like, Drew's not even Drew no more. Like they hurt my boy. They hurt my boy. It was one of the easiest things to book. Just keep them on Raw until the Rumble. That was the thing. Keep them on Raw until the Rumble. Keep booking them strong. Have them win the Rumble. Have them face Roman. That was the
beat Roman.
That was it. That was it. You know how much he wanted Roman after Survivor Series? Like, oh my goodness. Like, it's okay. It'll be all right.
Is it?
I think Drew will have a revamp. I'll talk about that later when we do our fast round. But yeah, those are my predictions for Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, what you got?
I don't even know, dog. Like I picked both champions to win their match because I explicitly do not want this possibility.
Yeah.
I want them, frankly, on my end, I might be in the minority of this, but I want them to do a unification bout. Like, I want them to have both titles come together, make one world title, have them spread above both shows. The draft is stupid anyway. People are coming on both shows. You see Seth Rollins being pulled over for Raw anyway. Yeah. Might as well combine both shows, have rosters kind of overflow anyway. That's just my kind of opinion on it. But in terms of Rumble winners,
they don't know. Everything tells me they don't know.
They honestly, like, I really don't know. They probably do know,
but they know this about to be real stupid.
Correct. Yeah, and that's why I don't think there's been a lot of tease towards the Rumble. It's definitely hasn't gotten a lot of booking shine just in terms of the people in the Rumble as it has in past years. We don't know the numbers that people are going to enter in or anything like that. So it's really interesting with how they've kind of, not just even this pay-per-view, for like the last couple pay-per-views have just kind of like led it towards them. But Big E is definitely a big one. I think we can go after picking to win. I would love to see that. Frankly, for me, just as a personal pick, I would love to see AJ Styles win it.
I would love to see AJ. Oh my! AJ deserves to be in the main event again.
Correct. Like, he's broken off from Omos. Omos will be in the Rumble. Let's not forget that either. And I think it would be really good for him to come on top, get one last run at that main event scene, even if he doesn't win the title, but to kind of main event Mania again. I would love to see that. I'm going to just stick with those two, frankly, at this moment. If I had to pick one, give me Big, because we don't know. Legit, we do not know. We have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen.
We have no idea. We have literally no idea.
And that's fun, but it's also making me stir crazy, and I don't like it. Please don't let it be Brock or Roman. Please. That's Almighty God. Don't do this. Don't let Vince win this. When somebody step in, please.
My soul would cry.
I would die. I would hurt. Oh my gosh. But yes, I'm gonna go just as an official pick. I'm gonna go Big E. Because I think seeing him against Brock or Roman would be fun. But yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to bypass that. That is our Royal Rumble talk. Royal Rumble again this Saturday. I believe starting at 7 Eastern Standard Time. So go ahead and watch that. We'll kind of talk about just the reactions to that a little bit later on. But now we're going to talk about...
Can I host this one?
Yeah, run ahead, man. Run ahead. Do it.
So to finish this off in the last minute or two, we're going to do a fast round of what we expect from 2022. So this is all strictly from WWE. When we do Revolution for AEW, we're going to be doing the same thing for AEW.
Indeed.
So, and for NXT, whenever, they do a takeover, that's on a week.
Vengeance Day is coming.
Yeah, whenever that happens. So,
it's in a couple weeks.
the Vengeance Day is going to be on the weekend?
It's like maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be doing this for NXT real soon. That's going to be an entertaining one because,
We get to talk about
For those who
2.0.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who know, you know.
I've been watching.
I have.
I've been watching.
Too.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a depressing state. Anyway, so first off, who is gonna be your surprise entry in the Men's Royal Rumble? Who you got?
I don't think it'll be too much of a surprise, but I got Mr. Braun Breaker, from NXT.
Okay.
That's that NXT champion. I think he will definitely be one of the entrants to kind of give him a little bit of main roster shine. I fully expect him to be on the full main roster at the end of this year, at least. So I see him coming. I see maybe another one from NXT coming because he's been on the main roster show already, and that's Grayson Waller. So I fully expect to see him as well, possibly as well. So yeah, those are my two kind of NXT stars coming in.
I got a big surprise for you. They're talking about this whole Forbidden Door getting taken down. Well, since they already got some work relationship with these guys, I will say I believe Moose will be in the Men's Royal Rumble.
I've heard this.
I
think that
Moose will be there.
I think that is an option. I think they don't want the world champion to look like a chump, so I don't think he'll be in it.
I mean, they got Mickie James in there, so we don't see.
Mickie James is a legend. Don't do that. Mickie James is already established in WWE.
Well, hold on now.
It's a whole different situation.
Right, let's not say that Mickie James has been established in WWE. She has been called one. She has not been treated like one.
Don't do that. Her earlier run was incredible. She was with the company for a minute now. Don't do all that.
Yeah, I mean, look, after Mickie James had been with WWE after her return after a while, especially
after her return, yes. After, yes. But
her return.
We already know what Mickie.
I'm talking about when she returned.
She's already established. I think she's
a
whole different
situation.
situation.
Legend in WWE. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, going on to the next one. Who do you think is going to be your breakout star of 2022?
Breakout star, that is really hard to call, but from the way that he's been treated as of late, I gotta go Austin Theory. I fully expect him to hold some sort of title by the end of this year at some point in the year, whether that's US or Intercontinental title in some capacity. So definitely him. Of course, we have like guys that are probably coming from NXT probably earlier than they should. I would love to see Carmelo Hayes get a shine on the main roster.
100%.
I don't think it'll happen, unfortunately, just because of his size and things like that, unfortunately. But I think for him, for Austin Theory, that'll definitely be something. Hopefully Naomi kind of gets that breakout with Sonya Deville and just kind of goes toward the stars, but I don't see that coming either. I can be hopeful, though. Hopeful is something I am.
Yeah. So I have Omos and Braun Breaker. I think they're going to be the two breakouts. I think Braun Breaker's going to get called up as soon as he drops that NXT championship.
Correct.
And I believe Omos is just going to be built as this Andre the Giant type of guy. So we'll see how that turns out. The only thing is WWE don't know how to book a heavy to save their life.
At all. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. Since we're talking about this, there is a difference between what I'm about to ask. Who do you think is going to be the top wrestler in WWE this year?
I mean, it's the guy who it was last year. That's the head of the table. That's that dude. That's Roman Reigns. Even if he does lose the title, I don't see that changing in any capacity. He's still their main star, kind of their number one go-to in terms of everything. So I don't see that changing. If you want to throw another name in there, just depending on what they do throughout the entire rest of the year when she comes back, Sasha Banks can be up there as well. But I don't see anybody overtaking Roman just as that spot at the top at all.
All right, so that's top guy. That's what I was about to ask next. So I'll give my top guy. This is why I don't think what happens at day one is going to be the death of him. I think Drew McIntyre is going to be the top guy by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. It might start at SummerSlam. It might start at Survivor Series. I think by the end of the year, it might start at TLC, but it will be by the end of 2022.
Okay.
He will be the top guy.
Sure.
It could be New Year's Eve. He got to be a top guy again. Like y'all can't do my boy Drew like that. You can't do him like that. All right.
Oh, no,
So
no.
top wrestler is the person who will be in the ring and putting on a wrestling clinic every single time they get in the ring. Who you got for 2022?
Give me Seth Rollins, dog. Seth Rollins has been putting on clinic after clinic, frankly, as of late. If he continues to stay in the main event scene, I don't see that changing in any way, especially if he stays at a heel. He'll be putting on battles with a whole bunch of top faces, depending on who those top faces are, because we don't know. But I think, just thinking with that, I think Seth Rollins is definitely in that mix. I think Ronda Rousey, if she is coming back, if she's in that mix, they really use her as like a special attraction. I don't see her having a lot of bad, just like main event matches in that capacity. So I think she's definitely in that realm as well.
I have AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is going to have a very, very good 2022, and he will reestablish himself as one of the top guys in WWE, especially in ring work. I really do believe so. And finally, who will be the top workhorse? The guy that they call on every single time to put on, whether it's a small capacity or a big capacity, who will be their workhorse, their guy. I mean, we've seen it numerous times. Dean Ambrose was there, a.k.a. Jon Moxley. We've seen AJ Styles be there. We've seen Daniel Bryan be their workhorse. Who do you think will be their top workhorse in 2022?
I think you can throw 3 names in there. Frankly, I don't have just a set time one for you, but you could throw the guy that you just mentioned, AJ Styles, in there. Of course, you can throw Kevin Owens in there. He is a sure to stay, and he does everything. You could throw him in there, and then you can throw a certain Royal Rumble winner, hopefully when she comes back, and that is Bayley, because she does everything as well. When she is fully healed, she does it all, and I think she'll be amazing just as a return to this women's division for sure.
I believe he will continue his year. No matter what storyline he gets, he will make it entertaining. I believe Sami Zayn will be one. I believe that, of course, when she comes back, Miss Bayley is going to be a top workhorse. And who could be a third for me? Really, when it comes to workhorse, it means working day in and day out. Mr. Randy Orton. I think Mr. Randy Orton does a really good job in any capacity that he's in. And I think that he can continue his workhorse ability throughout 2022.
Golly. Talk about Breakout Star. If we want to go back to that question real quick, we ain't talking about Riddle this entire video.
Oh, Riddle is going to be the guy. He is going to be the guy. Riddle is so good, man.
Matter of fact, swap out Austin Theory for what I said earlier, because I forgot all about Riddle.
I think Riddle could be a top wrestler.
Riddle does.
If it's not Styles.
There's backstage drama, more than likely, just in terms of his accusations and things like that, which I think is preventing him from being where he can be, frankly. But I think if everything with that is settled and he's all innocent and they want to move forward with him just as that guy, he will be. Like, no question.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That was it. That was the speed round. That was about 2 to 3 minutes. So, you got anything else, brother?
Nah, bro. Royal Rumble coming, NXT Vengeance Day coming, Revolution coming. We about to watch AEW, see those recaps, what's happening and stuff like that. But wrestling's in a good place this January, and I hope it continues. I love it.
So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am Kevin Jones.
I am Jordan Moser. Peace out, guys. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Royal Rumble and the mystery of it. Please.
Peace. Love y'all.
Don't let it be Brock or Roman, please.
Boy.